Despite coming from different eras, comparisons are often drawn between these two skilled craftsmen. According to legend, Masamune's blades were revered as holy objects, while weapons forged by Muramasa were said to drive their owners to commit evil acts of bloodlust. Additionally, once unsheathed, a Muramasa blade supposedly must taste blood, or it will force its owner to kill or commit suicide. The shogun himself was said to recognize their demonic nature after he accidentally cut himself with one, and he forbade his warriors from using them in battle. Because of the stigma attached to them, some insurgents and enemy samurai were known to use them as a symbol of their rebellion. A legend tells of a test where Muramasa challenged his master, Masamune, to see who could make a finer sword. They both worked tirelessly, and eventually, when both swords were finished, they decided to test the results. The contest was for each to suspend the blades in a small creek with the cutting edge facing the current. Muramasa's sword, the Juchi Yasumo, cut everything that passed its way: fish, leaves floating down the river, the very air which blew on it. Highly impressed with his pupil's work, Masamune lowered his sword, the Yawara Kaite, into the current and waited patiently. Not a leaf was cut, the fish swam right up to it, and the air hissed as it gently blew by the blade. After a while, Muramasa began to scoff at his master for his apparent lack of skill in the making of his sword. Smiling to himself, Masamune pulled up his sword, dried it, and sheathed it. All the while, Muramasa was heckling him for his sword's inability to cut anything. A monk who had been watching the whole ordeal walked over and bowed low to the two swordmasters. He then began to explain what he had seen. The first of the swords was by all accounts a fine sword. However, it is a bloodthirsty, evil blade, as it does not discriminate as to who or what it will cut. It may just as well be cutting down butterflies as severing heads. The second was by far the finer of the two, as it did not needlessly cut that which is innocent and undeserving. Of course, these two never actually met, seeing as how they lived in different eras and, of course, not master and student. Some legends of these two don't incorporate the masters, but their swords instead. But the legends stay to the same truth. Blades crafted by Masamune are inexplicably good, whereas Muramasa's are inexplicably evil.